Hello and welcome to our little chat here. My amazing teacher, healer, friend Joy Truscott and myself, Romy Lunz. And what we'd like to do here is just have a little place where we always have these amazing conversations about so much interesting stuff in life relating to energy, and we just thought it would be amazing to be able to share this with you all, and for people to be able to just eavesdrop and listen in on some of the things that are coming up, not just for ourselves but for everyone, because if something's resonating for me, then energetically it's resonating for a lot of people. So that's our intention for our little chats here, and we hope you'll be kind and just patient with us as we explore this little space. So what should we talk about today, my darling Joy?
Romy, we were chatting the last time we chatted. So we were talking about that whole issue of the workplace clutter, static, painful energy, and how we're all feeling it and absorbing it because there's so much coming in. And so what makes me think we need to find a way to not just to manage in the situations at our workplaces, and we did that, didn't we? We gave a little way to stop and breathe and reconnect, which is good. But I think what we need to talk about is how is the transition from workplace to living home space. So how is that for you, Romy?
Sometimes not so good. Sometimes you come home and you're very charged and you haven't had this, and I think that's why a lot of people feel like going to gym after work is really a good transition, because they kind of sweat that energy out.
Yes.
But let's say one doesn't have time to do that. Sometimes you come home and you bring all this clutter from work home with you into your space, into your home, which is supposed to be a sanctuary.
That's right.
And into the interactions you have with your partner, your children, your friends, your family. So, I mean, I came home the other night and I just felt so charged. My energy was just quite electric, but not in a good way.
Yes.
And my poor sweet boy, he just picked up on it. I mean, he didn't sleep a wink because he could just feel this energy emanating off me. So neither of us slept a wink, and I think it's just, we need to think about how we can consciously, on the way home or coming back to the place that is our little sanctuary, how to drop that stuff that we've picked up during the day from our being.
Yes, and how do we all do it? And I like the idea of the gym. I mean, that makes a lot of sense to go to gym, because if you think about what that energy is, it's like pent-up energy, volatile energy, and it's energy that you've stuffed back into your body, you've trapped it into your body because we've not been able to just throw out, well, we shouldn't be throwing out all our entering behaviors at work, at the workplace, because that just makes it even worse. It spirals the energy into more chaos.
Yeah.
So going to gym is actually a really good way. You know, it would be fun to invite our viewers to give us some feedback as to what they do, if they have some kind of little system or program or some kind of little coping mechanism, because, you know, maybe someone's hit on a really, really good idea. For those who are not gym orientated, they might really appreciate some other guidance and help.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that could be good. I remember one of my co-workers when I was working in Colorado, and we were working with really, really a lot of challenging situations inside of the centers with families. And my one co-worker, she said the way she did this is that the jewelry that she was wearing, or the scarf that she was wearing, whatever she had on through her work day, she imagined that held all the energy of the space that she had been in through the day. And when she came home, she had a hook at the front door, like a coat hook, and she took off the jewelry, or she took off the hat, or she took off the scarf, and she put it on there. And she said just that little act of taking this that was part of that world off and standing at the threshold of her door, which was kind of the transitional space between work life and my home life, and without bringing the contamination of that static in, the symbolic unrobing almost of that which could hold in her mind the energy static or symbolize the energy static. She could just let it go, and she hung it up there, and then she took some breaths, and then she walked into a house, and she felt like her home was just going like, oh, come to moi. Come, let's have some beautiful time together. That's quite a good way to do it, isn't it?
Really good way.
Yeah.
A really, really good way. I like that.
So what could you do, Romy, in your journey?
Well, I've actually decided I quite like incense.
Yes.
Come home and you light an incense. I don't know, it sounds maybe a little bit hippie, but then you can charge good energy into the incense. It fills the space, and I find it kind of neutralizes whatever you're holding.
Yeah.
If you kind of step into the space and you drop out the energy that you were holding from the day.
Very good.
That smell, that it resets you feel like you're coming into a different space, sensorially and then energetically.
Yeah, this is a very good one, and this is why people do light incense when they go into gatherings, when there's going to be meditations, because what it does, it connects into one of our senses that we can all sense, and we can, the moment we come into a space where the essence, the scent, is the same, we immediately come into the same vibrational frequency, because smell and taste and color and everything is just vibration. It's just energy. Everything's energy.
Yeah.
So when you put in incense, then anyone who's coming into that home or that space immediately start to vibrate in the same place of energy through connecting in through the olfactory sense, the sense of smell, which opens up our awareness. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of very sophisticated explanations around it, but you'll notice that if you bring a lot of people in, like when I do meditation groups and workshop groups, I'd love to walk around my house and I first clear the energy and welcome love and light and bright energy in, and I wave this little incense thing around, and I make all sorts of wonderful noises. And so I open the space with an intention of bringing in light and love and happiness and wellness and abundance, togetherness, connectivity. And then when people come in, and even though they've come in from their days and their lives and they're trying to get to this place to meditate, and they've had to deal with all their family and all the static, and then they walk in the door, and if people kind of walk in and their stuff sort of moves in with them for a moment, and then they just all stop and breathe, it's like this little magic thing that happens. Yeah. Because we're all getting into the same intentional wavelength that I created before the event.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've done that once or twice at the office early. Just lighted little incense before anyone comes in, and I just charge the space with how I like the day to play out, and I charge that into the incense. Yeah. And it's amazing. People come in and they go, oh, it's different in here. What's going on?
Very, very good. That is so, so powerful. Imagine if we all stepped into our workplaces. Now, we've been saying about stepping out, but this is really good, Romy, because now we're talking about stepping into the workplace from our home place, which for families and parents and children who scream and perform and rant and got to get them to school and get them in the car and the safety belt and all the stuff. It's just endless. Don't know how anyone does it with children and still stays sane. And then equally, there is all the home static of the morning and the frenzy and the traffic and then getting to work. So there's also that being pulled into the workplace. So that is a beautiful, beautiful thought to hold for all of us who have to go into workplaces or to be in our home or creative places, to flip the switch of that energy. That's brilliant. Yeah. Mm.
And I think what's so nice is, you talked about charging the energy with what you want, with love and light and abundance and happiness, and really calling that in. And I think that's something that's so important for both of us to actively do, is actively call in what we want.
Mm-hmm.
We often talk about what we don't want. I don't want this, I don't want that. But to just say, I'm calling in this, I'm calling in light, and I'm calling in calm, and I'm calling in beauty, whatever it is we want.
Yes, yes. That's exactly the right way to do it. To call it in and to set it up intentionally, with intentions and with affirmations. I heard a sweet thing the other day though, Romy. This was cute. Someone was saying, instead of affirmations, because an affirmation is sort of like, you would say, that life supports me and I move through this world with ease and grace, and you're kind of affirming who you are in this world and how you want to show up. But they actually said what's even more powerful is an affirmation. I thought, so what'd be that? So an affirmation apparently is the sense of being in gratitude already for that which is to still unfold. So you're saying things like, for the way that this day is unfolding, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the abundance that is already in my life. And you say things like, oh, how lucky am I? Oh, I've got my cousin Sharon. Oh, she is so beautiful at this. This has been her anthem, her inner anthem. And from the earliest years of knowing this darling girl, she would always say, oh, how lucky am I? And boy, she is lucky. She has like a charmed life. She's an amazing, amazing being who brings things in. So she says things, how lucky am I? That's an affirmation. Yeah. How wealthy am I? How blessed am I? And so you're being grateful for what is to still come. You're not saying, may this day be well and may I be well. You are really pulling it into a much bigger field of energy.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Very nice. And actually I've tried that in some areas of my life where I've said I'm so excited for X, Y, or Z to come in. So, I'm so excited for the wonderful year I'm going to have. Or I'm so excited about anything really, but just tapping into that feeling of excited about something that you're calling in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is so good. Oh my gosh, we can go on a million tangents, but yeah. We'll go into all the millions. But the one you're saying here right now is anticipation.
Yeah. And
that is the energy of manifestation.
Yeah.
It is the key energy for manifesting. Women, we are so going to talk about that. Mark the space and come back and watch it when we talk about that, because there's a lot to be said, and nice blessings in that. But let's go back to where we are for this one.
Yes.
For the transitional spaces, and here we are having these ways to come in. So we've spoken about perhaps putting in a scent or an incense, or even aromatherapy oils are so powerful, and that you can, if you just even put them onto your own body, like people wear perfume, but perfumes are so powerful that actually they can elevate and activate all kinds of underlying feelings and associations. So almost if you went on a date with a man who was wearing a certain cologne, and someone in your office has got that cologne, and that date didn't go very well, you can already feel activated. So my idea is that perfumes should not actually be used in workspaces, and certainly not if you intentionally connecting with another, not to wear perfume, because there's too many signals inside of those already, impacted signals. And so you know that what that does, hey Romy, like if you just smell something, you can be right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be about 5 years ago already.
Oh.
It can take you to like 10 years ago at a certain place at a certain time.
Bam. Right there. Yes, it's instantaneous, that connection, that olfactory connection. This is a really good one. It's a powerful one. But if you could take something that's more neutral, like lavender oil or peppermint oil from the aromatherapy oils, they are so exquisite. I have them in my therapy room. I've got them right here.
That's a good idea.
This is like sweet orange. Oh my gosh. You know, when I'm busy in my sessions, and then I just take a little bit and I just pop it onto my hands, and I clean my own energy, and I just sort of kind of do this. I also have a little spray bottle, like a darling little spray bottle. Just spray, and that's also got just water and a few drops of lavender or orange or peppermint, sage, rosemary, whatever my mind wants to play with. And if you just do this, oh my gosh, you just clear your field very, very quickly. And the smell of that goes like that aura, that light aura just starts opening up, and everyone around picks up the smell, but actually they're picking up an aura that you're going, and you're connecting that drop-in moment to them through a sense.
You do this, I can actually see it clearing your energy. I can actually see it.
It's just wonderful.
Do you know what? You know, when you're talking about essential oils and, you know, things like lavender and those sort of flavors, I think that's more neutral because it's stuff that our bodies programmed with from ancient times. We're used to the natural sense and the natural you know, things that come from the earth, lavender, rose.
Yes. That's right. I think that is a really good message. And those ancient signals are earth signals, and earth signals are grounding signals. So even if you're not into, if you think this is too woo-woo for you, aromatherapy, aroma oils, natural oils, too woo-woo, okay, but if you do think that it is too woo-woo, then even just imagine opening up an orange. If you take an orange to work and you then start peeling it when everyone's like, I promise you the energy will drop into a more stabilized energy field.
It's actually a good experiment to do.
It would be a nice experiment. Oh, wouldn't it be fun now? And we can go to work tomorrow and all use our workplaces now like laboratories. We can all play little experiments in our workplaces. It'll take the edge off having to produce and be and perform and show up and have all the stress of our performance anxiety. We could start playing in them and being ridiculous and peeling oranges for no reason at all. We are now all just stopping to eat an orange. Imagine if you took everybody an orange, and once you peeled yours, I promise you everyone else would start peeling theirs. And just that act of peeling an orange, being in that moment, and that lovely orange essence would be all over their hands and infusing into the air, everybody would feel better, and they would feel like a nutritional support. I mean, vitamin C and all the other good things. There's a plan. Orange sales are going to go much higher now.
Yeah. Do you know what's also an amazing way to sort of get rid of some of the static in the office? Not by doing anything, but just plants. I find bringing plants into the office and setting up big plants on the desks and orchids or whatever beautiful flowers you like.
Yes.
It brings in an earth energy, and everyone just kind of recognizes it and remembers, oh, there's life outside of this little box that we're playing in and these rules that we're playing in.
Very nice. Beautiful. Anything that is of nature, and you know, it's not a mistake that in big cities they do create little gardens, but no one goes into them. We just stay in our little cubicles and our boxes because of TikTok time pressure. And so you're right. So bring it in, bring nature in. And there are certain plants which you can have a little look on, a little Google search, but there's certain plants that actually absorb toxicity and static energy better than other plants. And to put those out, that's a really good way. So here we can think about a transition into work, maybe using something like oils or some kind of aroma, and then opening the area with an intention. So when you come into your own workspace, to open the intention in that workspace that everything you do moves with ease and flow, and to be grateful for the opportunity to be doing something in the world and showing up in the world in a productive way, because we all love that. We all love feeling useful and helpful and wonderful. So see yourself as giving you the gift of that, and just setting it up with intentions or with aromatherapy or oils. And then we're going to be waiting for whatever else anybody else does, and we can share those ideas. Yeah. And then the transition home, just think about those transitions. And if you become mindful that there are transitional points, you're in an activity, then you're going to go to another activity. It's like there is this space and there's this space, and they're pretty different, but there needs to be a bridge, and that's a transition. Yeah. And you need to think about what it is that I'm doing in this space, because we go work, home, and then we want them to sort of like, we got to kind of go from one to the other, but they're not the same. They're two different vortices of energy. So this little connecting point here is vital. Let's start focusing on transitional points. What are these? What do they look like? What do they feel like? And who am I? And how am I inside of those transitional points? That will be a fun little game to play with self. Love it. So let's leave these thoughts there. Should we do that, Romy?
So much to talk about. I have to keep it for the next session.
Yes, there's a lot. There's such a lot. There's such a lot to talk about always. And remember, this is always just energy. It's just energy, and it's bringing us into a higher awareness. The higher awareness is, the better we can cope in this life. That's when we go into this unconscious living that is just like routine and carrying on, that our energy really depletes terribly. It's a downward spiraling vortex, and we just become very stuck and miserable in those. But once you start tuning into your energy and start becoming aware and using your mind, body, and your perception field as a gift, which it really is, we start managing and being in this world in the most wonderful and profound way. May that be the blessing for the week.
It's clear to see.
So much love. From up here. Thank you, Romy. Thanks for connecting, and thanks for chatting, and thank you all for joining us. And may it be a glorious week. And with all our love, this is Joy Truscott and
Romy Lunz,
wishing you lots of love, heart and soul.
We meant to be